everybody, welcome back. Marshmallow Crew, welcome back to 5 Ways to Save with Marshmallow Mummy. Today is going to be a really good one because we're going to be tackling some dreaded household bills that are obviously on the rise all the time. But I do have 5 ways to actually save on these. So let's not waste any time. Let's just get on with it. So number one, we should really talk about the energy vampires, the energy eaters. I know energy vampires are normally, we don't talk about humans here. We talk about household things, the plugs that are always on, the lights that are left on by our kids, even though we told them about 100 times to turn the light off when you leave the room. These little things. And also, for example, when we do our laundry, then I think the best idea, what we tend to do is turn the temperature down. We tend to wash most of the things on 30 centigrade and on a short cycle. Obviously, check the items, the care label, before you pop it in a washing machine. Otherwise, try to cut back on the time and on the temperature as well. And it would definitely make a difference. And if you can, maybe try to get a smart meters. I know in the UK, a lot of energy suppliers, they try to push for smart meters. We actually ended up having it only a few years ago, but it makes such a big difference. First of all, we don't have to go into the cupboard to try to read the meter reading every single month. But the smart meter also helps to kind of keep an eye on the energy that we use. Obviously, we are quite aware of turning on the thermostat and doing the basic things to help us with the bills, but a smart meter really did make a big difference because we can see when it actually spikes. So keep an eye on those energy sucking things in your home. So that was number one. So number two, let's talk about water. When it comes to water, obviously, you can have either, if you pay generally for your water, if you don't have a separate water meter, it still should apply to you really, because we should all be kind of conscious about how much water we use. The basic things: do not use the washing machine, then it's only half full, the dishwasher. And if you hand wash those items, then fill up a bowl of water and wash it there rather than running water. When it comes to bathing, just try to have a shower rather than having a bath. So these are all like simple things we can kind of implement. And if you've got more than one kid, I mean, to be honest, I do showers really quickly, so it's not an issue. But if you've got more than one kid, you can kind of turn it into a little game and tell them, who can get a shower, get in and out of the shower in 3 minutes. Obviously, make sure that they wash themselves. But, you can turn it into a little game just to encourage the kids to use less water. And as I said, you can even challenge yourself. What is the quickest amount of time you can get in and out of the shower? So let's see. Please make sure you pop it in the comment. What was your record? And while we are talking about water, many of the water providers in the UK, depending on the company you're with, you can check that on your bill. Go on to their website and see if they have free water saving devices, because we requested this a couple of times in the past and they sent out some really cool stuff, and it cost us nothing, and it really helped us to be a little bit more mindful about how much water we use when we use the water. And also it can detect if you've got any kind of leak. And just, there are some really cool stuff. So please make sure you go and check this one out. So number two was be mindful about water. Number three on the list is probably the most important, in my opinion, and we do this on a regular basis, to review your outgoings and review your bills and see if you got any subscriptions that are about to finish or finished already. You're paying above the general price. Let's say you made a contract, you went into a contract like 18 months ago, and the contract is ended, and you're actually not aware that you're paying a lot more than you should be paying. So sit down, maybe do it once a year if you're really dreading it and you really hate dealing with the numbers, But I think every 6 months probably would be a good guide, just in case there's something that you fix for 3 months or 6 months, you'll be able to pick it up a lot quicker. So if you're with let's say your mobile phone company, you signed a contract, you're out of contract now, and you're paying above the what you're using, and you're paying extra, just go onto the comparison site and have a look, because to be honest, staying with the companies, including banks as well, they don't really, I just find it that they encourage new customers and they give them a lot of deals, but existing customers, we don't tend to get much really. That's why I always have a look and see, is there anything that I would be able to do in order to be able to cut cost. What we do, we go into various comparison sites. For example, when it comes to energy bills, we are very much on the ball. I know exactly how many months we made a contract for and how it's going to be changing, and I switch all the time to make sure that we are not paying a lot more than necessary, and try to negotiate. We are with Sky, for example. With Sky, we tend to have a longer contract, but I knew exactly when that contract is going to be finishing, and I'm on the case. I'm contacting them about a month before it's about to finish, just to see if they can put us on a better deal. And if they can't, I just tell them, can't afford it, and we have to leave. And then the most important thing is be nice about it, because you'd be surprised how far people are willing to go if the customer isn't rude, because they are just doing their jobs and they are trying to help you. So bear that in mind. So what we do with Sky, I know I always contact them in time. Again, energy providers, I always do that on time. And even our mobile, I know exactly when there is a price hike and when we can switch. I always do that. So, just bear it in mind, just sit down and write it down. Write down when your contract's finishing, and then price compare and just switch. Because, you would be saving a lot. Otherwise, even with insurance, like pet insurance and home insurance, car insurance, I know the date, I put it in my diary, and I start shopping. What I suggest, you can contact your service provider before you switch. You do your research. For example, you know that you'd be able to get a deal with another company. You call your current service provider and you say, listen, you're going to be increasing the price. It's a lot more than anticipated. Is there anything you can do for me? If they say this is the best thing we can do, you can just tell them, I'm really sorry, we have to leave because we found something that would really undercut this by about £20 a month. That's a lot of money. So please make sure, please sit down and do your price comparison. Go through website, because there are some really good ones out there that would do the heavy lifting. So this is number 3. Number 4 on the list is to ditch the branded items that you shop for. I'm not saying that you have to give up everything, but you'd be surprised how much you'd be able to save if you just shop around. You can, if you really don't want to give up your branded items, that please make sure you price compare or maybe stock up when it's on offer. But if you're really loyal to that brand, just sit down and think about why you're loyal to that brand. Is it because it's well known? Is it because you used it? Is it because you can't be bothered to change it? Look at the reason why you're with them. And is there anything that would be a very good alternative? Or just try it. Let's say try it for a month. And if you really don't like it, go back to the branded thing. But you would be able to save a lot of money if you just try to switch. Do it in increments. I'm not saying that switch everything over to the cheaper brand, because there might be 1 or 2 that you really don't like, but it's still worth giving it a go. So number 4 is, do not be loyal to the more expensive brands. Just give the cheaper brands or supermarkets' own brands a chance. Number 5 on the list is again a little bit similar to number 3. So sit down and do like a little bit of a bill audit at the end of the month. Again, you can do it every 2 months, 3 months. Just sit down and see how much do you pay. Let's say if you go and have coffee every morning, how much does it cost you? Where does most of your outgoings go? And is there a way for you to kind of cut back on certain things? Again, let's say if you buy coffee from your coffee shop, I know it's a cliche because everybody, when it comes to money saving, say, oh, give up your Starbucks. I'm not saying give up your Starbucks, but just think about, let's say maybe you don't have Starbucks 5 times a week, just have it 4 times and think about how much would you be able to save. When you're going to buy your lunch, let's say you spend £5 every day, maybe just cut back one day and see how much you'd be able to. Is there anything that you would be able to substitute it with? You can even turn it again into a little challenge. Let's say you spend £70 a week on shopping, on your food shopping. Try to cut back by £10 and see, would that be doable? How would it affect your meal planning? Because that £10 a week, that's like £40 a month, and that £40 can go into your days away, or just little things like that. So again, just summarize. Number 1, tackle the energy vampires and the energy suckers in your home. So make sure you turn those lights off or put it on the timer if you really need to. Number 2, do a little water and shower challenge, just to make sure that you don't overuse your water, and be mindful about it. Number 3 is negotiate with your current service provider. Can they do a better deal? Do not be loyal to companies because, well, they won't necessarily be loyal to you. Number 4, try to give a cheaper brand a go and see how that one goes. And number 5 is sit down and do a little bit of a bill audit and see if you'll be able to challenge yourself to save a little bit. So hopefully you enjoyed today's 5 ways to save on your household bills by me, Marshmallow Mummy. And please don't forget to check out last week's when I told you about how to save even more at Lidl's. So thank you for tuning in. I'm really pleased that you found me, and thank you for coming back if you're an existing viewer. And well, I shall see you all here next week because I got some really good other 5 ways to save by me, Marshmallow Mummy. Take care. Goodbye for now.